is your story? How have you become like a death expert, if I can call you that?
I've never called myself that before. But I think my first experience with death was because I was a nurse. I trained as a nurse in Oxford. And we came across in casualty and on the wards, children, teenagers, older people dying. Many, many, many different types of death. It's never happy, I've got to say. It's never happy to be a nurse to lose a patient, because your aim is to get them better and to get them home. But we don't always succeed. We do what we can do. So you manage the situation and you look after the patient, of course, and you look after the family members when that time comes where the person has to part. So you don't just look after the patient, you look after the family as well.
So obviously experiencing a lot of death, how has that shaped your belief of what happens, where we go?
Okay, well, this is a shell, and we are all going to die, as we know, we are going to die. And I think it's how we look after this shell while we're alive that makes it good, makes life good. You know, if we treat it properly, it will look after us, usually. So I think, how does it affect us? I think we just have to make most of every day. That's the thing. That's what I believe. And you know, we have to strive to be happy and go in the right direction to get this body happy, so the soul inside can function.
I do wonder if we were told our end date, if we'd live differently. I do wonder.
I know I'm going to die when I'm expecting to live to about 113. I
want to be around till then as well. I want to see the big changes that are going to happen.
Yeah, I only want to do that if all of my mates are still going to be here. There's no point living to 130 if all your mates are dead.
Oh, well, we're going to be okay.
Oh, right, okay, well, that's fine then. That's cool.
We can still Zoom. We can still do the show for like... So many people are scared of death that you could even say they don't really live. I know some people that are, you know, whenever you say you're going to do something, oh my God, you know, but what if this happens? What if that happens? And then when you actually look what they're doing, they're not really doing that much. They're playing it really safe. Why do you think people are so afraid?
Because it's unpredictable. I mean, people are frightened of flying because, you know, you're getting into a cylinder, you know, that could fall down. You don't know whether you're, you know, when you walk along a cliff, you could fall down. If you're, you know, health fears, you know, will that happen if I go and do that? If I speak to this person, if I don't wash my hands? So people are worried all the time about this unpredictable thing. So we have to just be sensible and keep it in balance. That's the thing, not dwelling on death. We know it's going to happen, but we might as well just make as much of life as we can in the meantime. And what I do with the hypnotherapy is that I take away that fear. I go in, I take it away to make that person feel happier in their everyday and enjoying the now. That's what's important.
Yeah, okay. And that can just be done simply through, how many sessions of hypnotherapy?
I would usually see somebody for 3 hours in one sitting.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And how many people have death as their issue? What sort of percentage would you say?
I would say maybe about 10% would come in with 20% would come in with a fear of well, it's more because it covers even fear of spiders. You know, spiders might bite me, and what happens if it hurts, and it hurts so much. So the child doesn't necessarily think of a spider killing it, but if a dog had big teeth, it might think, well, it's going to kill me. You know, so it's probably a high percentage, because any fear, any anxiety, really, what's the worst that can happen? I could die. So
it's underpinning everything almost. Death is underpinning all our anxieties. That's quite interesting. So,
it's a high number. I think so. Yeah.
What is the best perspective that we can have on death, would you say?
It's part of life. Death is simply part of life. It's part of life, and the best perspective is, well, we've got to just know that the people that are around us, we've got to enjoy them. We've got to. I mean, my dad died very recently. I had his funeral 2 days ago. And my perspective on him is he was a fantastic man. He was loved by so many people, not just me and the other siblings that I had. We enjoyed him and he enjoyed us, and people remember him. Like the other people said, it's about the memory of those people. So we have to grasp life so that when we leave, when we go, that we're remembered for something. We've done as much as we could do to do good along the way. Does that quite answer it? You can ask me again.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I know Steve Jobs says you have to make a dent on the universe. That was his.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
thing,
we've
wasn't
got to be remembered somehow. Do something. Help one person really well. Or, yeah. But it's a natural feeling. It's a natural reaction.
Okay.
We feel it's unfair. And it is unfair. You know, young people shouldn't die. You know, nobody should become ill, really.
Yeah.
But it happens, and we worry about it. Is it going to happen? And when it does happen, then we worry about it. There is no point worrying about it. All we can do is to eat well, behave well, do the best that we can. But worrying about it, it is going to happen. And worrying too much about it makes it worse and almost can bring it on.
Yeah.
So we almost,
Yeah.
it's tough. Nobody wants to die, I'm sure, other than those that really feel that life is not worth living anymore. I think people are often very worried about who they're leaving behind. You know, the sadness when somebody dies. It's really, they worry, will they be financially okay? And, you know, that's very sad. And the families, parents to lose, it's wrong for a mother to lose a child, of course.
Yeah. And I think that's where my anger stemmed from. It was like, how could this happen?
Yeah.
But that was balanced with the fact that, okay, this is your godchild, this is not your child, and no matter how badly you feel, and we all felt terribly, it paled in comparison to what her mum was feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no justice. And how can you say there's a religion when somebody who is so small should be taken away? But people do take comfort from religion, and spiritualists feel that, you know, that if we can think of this that we're just here for a little while on this earth, and that the spirit, whatever buzz it is sort of travels off to somewhere else and moves into another planet area, or travels into another person, or whatever. The spirit, I think, my dad is still around. I'll still talk to him, and he carries on in me, like that girl.
I think that's it, isn't it? You have to find a mental perspective where if you still feel you've got a link to them, a connection, then you can cope with their absence if you feel you're still able to communicate. No, thank you so much. Thank you.